Welcome everybody to the 2025 College Squash Association National Individual Squash Championships. I'm your host, Will Carlin, but I'm even more prouder to be the chairman of the College Squash Association and to have been part of getting it into this. But we really need to thank John Nimick and the Tournament of Champions venue for letting us be here. I think that's been a big step up for the organization. And here we are for the finals. We're starting off with the women's finals today, and our first player is from Egypt. She's a sophomore playing #1 at Princeton University. Could you please welcome our #4 seed, Zaina Zain. Her opponent is from Milpitas, California. She's Stanford's #1 player as a freshman and is our #3 overall seed. Could you please welcome Ria Navani. Zaina Zain from Alexandria, Egypt, has been ranked on the Pro Tour as high as #54 in the world. She was a first-team All-America and Ivy League. She was Rookie of the Year last season, and she was a member of the 2023 Egyptian Women's World Junior Championship team that won the world title. She is a quarterfinalist herself in the 2023 World Junior Individual Championships that took place in Australia. And in this tournament, she's gotten to the finals without dropping a game. She beat Cara Linku from Trinity in the first round, Marianne Dardon from Stanford, Saran Neem from Harvard, last year's champion in the quarterfinals, and Jingying Yi from Cornell, the overall #1 seed yesterday in the semifinals. Could you please welcome again our #4 seed from Princeton, Zaina Zain. Ria Navani from Milpitas, California, is Stanford's #1 player as a freshman. She's already been ranked herself as high as #79 in the world. And as a junior squash player, she was a 2-time U.S. Junior National Champion, 2021 and 2022. She was a 4-time U.S. Squash All-American, 4-time U.S. Junior Open finalist, and a member of Team USA's silver medalist team for the 2024 World Championships. In this tournament, she's taken out Lavanya Coogan from Colby, Noah Romero from Trinity. She had a default from Caroline Fouts at Harvard due to injury. And then she took out Simi Chan, who is a previous winner of this tournament, from Columbia in yesterday's semifinal. Could you please welcome Stanford's freshman star and #1 player, our overall #3 seed, Ria Navani.
Time.
The officials for this match, the match referee is Mike Riley, and the video referee is Paul Alexander.
Welcome to the CSA Individual Collegiate Squash Championships. Well, it's finals day, and we have a cracking matchup for you between Princeton's Zaina Zain and Stanford's Ria Navani. Well, I'm Chris Gordon, and joining me in the booth for this afternoon's finals, Denison University standout Jackson Bragman. Good afternoon, Jackson.
Good afternoon, Chris. What an honor it is to be commentating on one of the most prestigious events in the college squash calendar. It's the individual national championships, and as you said, it's finals day. This has been a long time coming, not only for these players to get their spots in the finals of such a prestigious event, but for this event to, for the first time ever, be taking place here in New York City at Grand Central Station on the glass court at the Tournament of Champions. We saw some great squash on this court yesterday afternoon between the college players. The pro squash was of the highest order yesterday. Mohamed El Sharbaghi battling with Ali Farag, their 32nd encounter on the PSA World Tour, and it was a classic, and so much good squash on this court yesterday. Hopefully today follows suit. We have 2 cracking finals for the folks viewing at home this afternoon, kicking things off with the ladies. Ria Navani, the freshman from Stanford, taking on the sophomore from Princeton, Zayna Zane, who's had an incredibly impressive run throughout this event. Blitzing through the draw, hasn't dropped a game yet. Rhea, meanwhile, surviving a battle of a 5-gamer against Colombia's Simi Chan in yesterday's semifinals. We'll see how that factors in to today's matchup, as Nick Talbot, the son of Mark Talbot, the legendary U.S. hardball player, going to talk things through with Rhea Navani ahead of today's final. Meanwhile, in the Princeton corner, Zayna Zane will receive some consultation from Gail Ramsey, the longest tenured coach in all of the College Squash Association, 30 years of service for the Princeton Tigers. Chris, this is going to be a fun final.
Well, bit of an unexpected final. Zayna Zane came in as a 3-4 seed, and she overturned the top seed from Cornell, Yijin Ying, fairly comfortably in 3 games yesterday. And on the opposite half of the draw, Rhea Navani entered this event as a 5-8 seed and overcame the number 2 seed from Colombia, Chen Sen-yuk, in a very entertaining 5 games. She was 2-love up to start the thing off, and Chen Sen-yuk came storming back before Navani took a very exciting 5th game, 11-9.
It was an incredibly impressive result for Rhea yesterday, winning that in 5. She started out hot, won the first 2 games, 11-9. Simi came back, won the next 2 games. I believe it was 11-2 and 11-4. I thought Rhea was a dead woman walking.
Ramsey division, Rhea Navani to serve, Zayna Zane to receive. Best of 5 games, love all.
I thought Rhea was a dead woman walking heading into that 5th game, but she battled and battled. It was back and forth. We said yesterday on the broadcast it felt like a heavyweight boxing fight, and Rhea pulled it out in dramatic fashion. Here she is
Zayna,
in the finals of the CSA individuals in her first year of collegiate squash. We heard Will Carlin list all of her accolades, an impressive junior career for the American. This was a huge opportunity for her, as well as Zayna Zane seeking her first individual title. Lost out in the semifinals of this event last season to Harvard's Saran Nagim, who went on to win the event. She avenged that loss in the quarterfinals this year, beating Saran in 3 games.
And out
on Sunday. All to play for here in this women's final. Good width from the Stanford Cardinal. Dana's been incredibly impressive throughout this event. Taking the ball early.
3-1.
Movement's been outstanding. We'll see if she'll stick to that game plan for this afternoon.
Yeah, it's actually a really good scenario, this one for Rhea Navani.
Stroke to Zayna.
She comes
and out
in here.
3.
The lower seeded player, it's not as much pressure. Zayna Zane, obviously, having been as high as 54 on the PSA world rankings. Good result back in December, Zayna Zane winning the Northern Cup in Manchester, England. So it's a good scenario for Navani because very little pressure, so she'll be able to let her arm go, really be very aggressive in her hitting. Tends to be very good in those scenarios, Navani. Yeah, it's a great angle there.
Hand out.
Whipping the post into the neck. Good start from Stanford's Navani.
Mike Riley, the head officiator for today's match. One of the most experienced referees in squash world today.
And out 5-3. Down and out 4-5.
A bit of a rash error there from Navani.
Yeah, Rhea doing such a great job finding those back corners first few rallies. Flips the 10 there. Talked about it yesterday, Chris, but this front wall much deader than
No let.
the one that these young ladies have
Play review.
been accustomed to over at Open Squash in the
Zaina,
Financial
and the
District,
no-let
the
decision.
venue for the preliminary rounds of this event. So got to either put just an extra 10 or 15% onto their shots to get it to carry to the back, or utilize a little bit more height on the front wall. The no let given by Mike Riley here feels a bit harsh to me, Chris.
Yeah, it was worth a review here from Zina Zain. This could very easily get overturned. Well, it stayed as a no let. There you go.
Wasn't a
No let.
particularly strong
Decision
drop.
upheld.
It's cracked out into the middle there.
Zaina has one review remaining. And out 6-4.
It was probably
And
just
out.
comes down to how far forward in the court the ball landed. So still holding on to a 2-point cushion here, Stanford's Navani. Yes, good attacking in the front corner from Navani.
Yes, let. 6-4, right box.
Well, Zina Zain slightly misstepping here. It might have actually been worth a review, that one from Navani, but she's just going to continue on.
Navani seems up for the challenge here. She's bouncing around the tee.
Down.
Aggressive from the early going. There you hear a little come on. She's trying to get herself going.
7-4.
She's built herself a 3-point cushion here in the mid stage of this first game.
Stroke to Zaina. And out 5-7.
Zina Zain battling here, trying to get herself back in this first game. Just hasn't quite found her targets yet. Too many balls around the
And
middle.
out 8-5.
Well, there we see the former Princeton Tiger, Olivia Weaver, with her parents, joined the college squash on her day off. She had a fabulous performance in the quarterfinals of the CSA event yesterday evening, taking out Belgians Nina Hillis very convincingly in 3 games.
That's great width, great weight of
9-5.
shot there from Navani. Baiting that ball into the backhand corner. Yeah, Chris. Convincing 3-0 win over Gillis last night. It feels like Weaver's almost in her own category of not quite playing at the level of those top 3 ladies in the rankings, but well
Down.
clear of anyone below
And
her
out.
right now. Trying to make that big 3 of
6-9.
Hanya Al-Hamami and Nouran Gohar, Nour El Shabini a big 4. Obviously putting in some great work with Rod Martin. She had a hit with Paul Cole on the glass court earlier this morning. She's working hard and entering the prime of her career now. As he said, a former Princeton Tiger under the tutelage of Gail Ramsey. Nice boast. It's a nice movement from Zayna. It's a huge rally, the longest of the day.
Yeah, this is better for Zane. Oh, and she's finished it off with the error.
Handout.
Edgy error, just letting the ball settle a little bit too far. So now Ria Navani of Stanford with 4 game balls to take this first game. Oh, and she had that in her sights,
7-10,
Navani.
game ball.
Slightly misjudging the angle there. Got on it really quickly.
Zayna smacking her forehead there. She knows she got away with that bow straight out of the leisure center. Chris, you ever play those in pro matches in your day?
Absolutely, the leisure center boast is it's a favorite. Yeah, it was there for the taking for Navani.
8-10, game ball.
She created huge amounts of space there. So 2 game balls saved for Zane.
You know how tough both these players are. Zayna's going to hang tough here. This would be her first drop game of the event.
That's a massive error from Navani there. A lot of space to play that ball.
9-10, game ball.
Tensed her arm there on the follow through. So yet another game ball saved for Zane.
Stroke to Zayna.
Just like that, a 4-point deficit
Flames
erased.
win by 2 points.
We're all knotted up here, win by 2. Take this all-important first game. Players have found their length in the later stages of this game. Straight out of the leisure center once again, Chris.
Handout.
It's a brilliant shot.
Game ball.
From the Stanford Cardinal. You can't hit a leisure center boast any better than that.
Yeah, it was a clever angle from Ria Navani there. Took the ball very early, and an important point. She dropped 4 game balls. So that goes a long way to settling her down mentally. Yeah, it's a good squeeze there from Zayna Zane.
11-all.
Just guiding the ball along that backhand side wall.
It's tight work from Zane. Yeah, both these players just finding a little bit more consistency. They found their length. Obviously, it's tough for these players not having an opportunity to warm up before the 4-minute warm-up that they're allotted on court. These rallies a bit longer than what we were seeing in the early stages of this first game. Navani was working Zane corner to corner there, clips the top of the 10 on the boast.
Right side,
it's an unfortunate error that gives Zane her first game ball.
Yes.
It's better from Navani. She created huge amounts of space, really penetrating length on that forehand
And
side.
out 12 all.
Just a more relaxed finish, inch perfect from the Stanford Cardinal.
Yeah.
That's good response there from Zane,
And
though.
out
Perfect
13
whiff.
12.
She's produced some
And
good
out.
stuff here, Zane. She just hasn't been able to really string too many consecutive points together of high quality. Yeah, it's poor service.
Wow, Chris, and that was
Navani.
hand out,
Hand out,
and Zana served from the
13-all.
left side. Why do you think she elected to do that?
Just a bit more variety. Just a bit more variety, Jackson. She's not
Navani.
really finding a rhythm, Zina Zane, so she's looking for anything she can to just disrupt Navani, just make things a little bit more complex in the tactical side of things.
Yeah, neither of these players look totally comfortable yet. Another post. Oh, wow. It's a brilliant
Yeah,
counter. It'll
no
be a
let.
no let. That is picture perfect
And out
from the
14
Egyptian.
13. Game ball.
Now with her second match ball, excuse me, game ball.
And out
Yeah,
14
it's a
all.
good finish there from Navani. Pushed up the court, taking the ball really early. Absolutely massive first game. Really critical to set the stage for the rest of the match. Get the feeling if Navani is able to take this first game, it really turns up the pressure on Zane. He's looked anything but
And
comfortable
out 15
for much of this
14.
first game.
Game ball.
It's a nice job there from Zane, pinning Rhea in the back corners, but it does feel like Navani has grown more comfortable as the game has gone on. Length finding the back corners a little bit more.
16
That's a
great
beautiful
from
14.
finish.
Zina Zane.
Zana
Inch
leads
perfect,
one
taking the
game to
ball
love.
into that front corner. So she escapes that first game. A marvelous comeback from Princeton, Zina Zane.
Up and down there from Navani. She built a 10-6 lead, and Zana fought her way back to 10-all. It was a battle of a first game, 16 minutes. The Princeton Tigers, Zana Zane, in her sophomore year, seeking her first individual national championship. She's yet to drop a game throughout her first 4.5 matches. She leads 1 game to love.
Play will resume in 30 seconds. Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Time. Zena leads 1 game to love. Love all.
Well, a very solid
let.
performance at
One
the
love.
end of that first game from Princeton, Zina Zane. I think it'll go a long way, Jackson, to just calming her down a little
Sorry,
bit. I
love
think
all.
we're going to
Love all.
see
Sorry.
higher tee position and just Slightly
Love
more
all.
aggressive outlook from the Princeton Tiger.
Yeah, she did seem a bit unsettled, frantic at times in that opening game. So first game victory may ease the nerves a little bit. And, as you said, may give her the vote of confidence. She needs to press up on the tee, hit aggressive shots like that from the midcourt, and start to pull away in this contest. Like we said, down 10-6 in that opening game, but that little bit of extra experience
Down.
proving to be valuable in helping Zayna battle back. And now with a 2-love lead in the second, she is completely in the driver's seat of this women's final.
Yeah, sharp attacking there from Rhea Navani. She really took her opportunity there, baiting the ball into that front corner.
Yeah, it's a really tough shot. Full extension of the arm there on the backhand. She's really come out aggressive as well. Expect her to maybe poke that ball in deep, and here's the boast. It's one of her signature shots. She has come out guns a-blazing, does not want to let this thing get away from her.
Net up, hand out.
That's too good from Zayna Zayn. Starting to find her short game. Lovely volley drop on the backhand side.
Sled. 3-1, right box.
And that ball high over Zayna's head. I think that's a good decision there. Yes, left.
She just needs to be a little bit careful here, Rhea Navani, with some of the cross courts and open the court up, that she's getting it wide enough into the side walls, because Zayna Zayn has pushed up the court and is being much more aggressive on the volley.
Great rally from Zayna. It was a nice lob
right
from
side,
Navani.
5-1.
That's a really tough shot. That high lob coming down off of the side wall. It's tough to take those volleys when the ball is on the way down. Zayna poked it straight beautifully and set herself up to hit. Great cross-court winner. Finish off the rally. She is cruising here.
And out.
But maybe
2-5.
that error opens the door for Navani.
That's good width there from Zayn. Just keeping Navani on the back foot here.
Hand out, 6-2.
Trying to really take control of the proceedings, Zayn. Nice clever angle there from Navani, though.
Hand
Way
out.
up the court. Really pushed up the court, took that ball very early. So for you, Jackson, what does Navani need to do to stay in this second game? Because this is a real turning point. She can't afford to lose this second game.
Down.
Yeah, I think it's the consistency. It's too many
And
errors
out.
like that one.
7-3.
It's had a few shockers taking the ball in short as well. Some cross drops that have been far too high. They've put Zayna in attacking position. Some errors. I think it's really comes down to very simple game plan of finding her length in the back corners like she is here, looking to get out in front, volley the ball, and find a little bit more consistency taking the ball in short. She feels a little bit unsettled with her short game right now.
8-3.
We saw that in the Simi Chan match yesterday, as in the first and second game. She was really putting the ball away beautifully. In the fifth game, just putting the ball away beautifully, but then just kind
9-3.
of lost feel taking the ball in short in those middle games. And I'm sure you know this all too well, playing as many pro events as you have, Chris, but some days you kind of wake up and it's just one of those days where you feel like you have a lot of trouble taking the ball in short. You don't have the feel that you wish you did. That's a nice drop, though.
And out.
From the back, risky.
4-9.
But it pays off, and he's hanging around in the second game. It'll be a tall task to climb back.
Down. Hand out. 10-4. Game ball.
Well, Zaina Zain of Princeton University now with 6 game balls to take the second game. That's rapid there from Zain.
Good retrieving, though, from Navani. She's not going to give this
11-4.
up. And
Game to Zaina. Zaina
the
leads
lob is
2
too
games
good
to
from
love.
Zain. She's cruising in this women's final. Coming back from 10-6 down in the first. Never a doubt in the second. She's 1 game away from winning the CSA Individual National Championship. Zaina Zain leads 2 games to love.
Play will resume in 30 seconds.
Well, I
15
tell you
seconds.
what, Jackson,
To the court, ladies.
Princeton University, Zaina Zain has really turned up the heat here. It was edgy start in that first game, but she has really started to dominate the proceedings.
She was a different player in the second, far more aggressive and far more settled in. You know, you could see
Time.
just a different level of balance and control.
Zaina leads 2 games to love.
She was dominating the tee.
Love all.
As you said, turning up the heat, picking up the tempo and the aggression, and cruise through that second game. I feel that she may just be a bit too physical, a bit too talented with the racket here for Ria Navani to find her way back into this match.
Yeah, she really kind of floats around the court, Zaina Zain. Reminds me a bit of Rowan
1
El-Arabi.
love.
I think it's a great comparison. Both incredibly fluid movers. You see such an explosive first step onto that boast from Ria. That boast was quite effective in the first game. Here in the third, Zaina all over it, punching that ball cross court, and Navani never had a chance. Yeah, Zaina really buzzing around now.
Down. Hand out.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad
1
idea
all.
there from Zain. Just whipping the boast in, spreading the court. Didn't miss by much.
Stroke to Zaina. Hand out. 2-1.
Navani will be disappointed here. It's just the consistency with both her lengthening and her short game that is struggling. She's pulled out some phenomenal shots. That should be a no-let.
No-let.
Yeah, this is far from the best version of her squash.
Yeah, it's a good squeeze there from Navani.
2-3.
It'll go a long way to settling her down.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes a shot like that to get a jolt of confidence. There you see, absolutely glued to the side wall. Shot from Navani. It's a big time fist pump.
And out.
We're knotted at 3 apiece. Said those couple of winners in the forecourt could sway the momentum in favor of the American here. Another beautiful boast, and once again Zayna all over it. That would have been a winner in the first game. Zayna gets it back, but it results in a stroke. Navani starting to pick up steam here.
Good response here from Stanford's Rhea Navani. It's keeping the ball further in the extremes of the court. Just nudges that ball forward.
Because I don't think you would have reached it.
There's a good little angle there from Navani. Keeping the ball very close to the face of the front wall.
And out 4-5.
It's tied from Navani. Quality has gone up tremendously here in this third game from both parties, Chris. And another fist pump from Navani.
Well, some real star power here in Grand Central, Jackson. We've got Orlando Bloom taking in the squash.
Oh, wow. A doppelganger.
Yeah.
Waving to the camera.
Well, it is great. The crowd really filling out here.
Who do you think he's supporting
for the women's final? Orlando Bloom, I think he's more of a Tigers kind of person, so yeah, he's probably like supporting Princeton.
And out 5-6. Stroke to Zayna, 6-all.
Yeah, it's great action there from Princeton Zayna Zane. She's whipped that post in. It's a good response because Navani's starting to really dig in. Good with that, Jackson.
Good with. She apologizes to Navani, but it's a great shot.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why she apologized. There's nothing accidental about that. She was certainly aiming for that side wall. It's been a pretty consistent tactic of Zina Zain, just getting the ball wide around Navani.
It's a tough movement. But smart for Zaina to take that off her back foot instead of letting the ball carry to the back. Trying to keep Navani on the move, not let her get settled on the tee.
Down. And out, 7-8.
It's third game coming down to the wire.
Oh, that's a massive movement from Zina
Oh,
Zain.
that's
Huge
incredible.
fist pump. on
What
the
a
back.
line from that position.
Hand out.
Well, there we see U.S. Squash CEO
9-7.
Kevin Klipstein really enjoying the squash with the SEA Executive Director Tim Wyant, both of them former squash players. Tim Wyant playing Harvard University, and Kevin Klipstein, former Cornell, I guess you'd say Cornell Big
Out.
Red.
Cornell Big Red. Yeah, that's a good question.
How do you pluralize that?
How do you pluralize the Big Red?
10-7.
Member of
Championship ball.
the Cornell
Well,
Big Red.
here we go, Jackson. Zina Zain of Princeton University now with 3 championship balls.
She's been incredibly dominant this event.
Let's.
Yes,
7-10.
let given.
Yes, let. Play review.
I think that might be worth a review. It was
Rhea
loose from
on
Zain.
Yes, let decision.
Rhea's read her like a book there. Steps over to volley, and I think she may be rewarded for this challenge.
Yeah, it's worth challenging, especially right here at the end of the game. Well, it's good use of the
Stroke to
challenge
Rhea.
there from Rhea
Decision
Navani.
overruled.
So one
Hand
match
out.
ball saved.
8-10. Match ball.
Just such great weight of shot from Zain on the cross.
No let.
The no let
Play
given.
review. Rhea on the
Another
no let
row.
We're
decision.
not quite yet. We're not quite there yet, Jackson. Don't go jumping out of the chair yet. We got to get the video review going.
Drama from Grand Central. Surely it's a no let. She's gone too far forward. She's gone the wrong way. The ball deep in the court. The line was behind Zain. So we wait the final decision. The no let given.
No let.
Zaina
Decision
Zain
upheld.
in
Match to
dominant
Zaina,
fashion
against club.
wins the 2025 College Squash Association Individual National Championships. She was oh so close last season, falling in a 5-gamer in the semifinals to the eventual winner Sarandagim. It was an instant classic. She's come back with a vengeance this year. Congratulations to the Princeton Tiger, dominant here today on the glass court at Grand Central Station. What a moment for the Egyptian.
Zaina, we're going to talk to you again after the trophy ceremony, after the men's match, but I want to get your initial reaction to being the College Squash Association National Champion.
Well, Zina Zain
I'm
of
extremely
Princeton
happy.
University
I think part of me is still in denial.
crowns
I
herself
still can't believe
the
I actually
intercollegiate
was able
women's
to clinch the
national
title
champion,
today. I'm just happy with my
defeating
performance throughout
Stanford's
this
Rhea
whole
Navani.
week. Happy to have all
And
my friends
coming
over
up,
there, my
we have
coaches.
the men's
Everyone came
final
all the way from Princeton to support
between
me. I really appreciate that. Wouldn't have done that without them.
the
Thank
University
you.
of Pennsylvania men's players, Omar Hafez.
You also made it through, believe it or not,
And-
without losing a game all the way through,
Salman
including the
Khalil.
finals. That is an impressive performance.
Yeah, she was about to win the first game. She was like 10-6 up, but somehow I managed to win that game. Happy, of course, to win all my matches in 3.
All right, well, we're going to let you collect yourself. We're going to hear from you again after the men's match, but congratulations. Can we just say Zaina Zain from Princeton, national champion.
She's been impressive all week, Zain. extracting some revenge.
We're
She
going
fell.
to start the men's match momentarily.
She fell to Yi Ying of Cornell a couple of weeks ago in a regular season matchup between Cornell and Princeton. She fell in last year's individual competition to Harvard Saran Nagim in the semifinals. She avenges those two losses, both of which in dominant fashion, 3 games for each of those matches, and gets the 3-game win here over Stanford's Ria Navani. She battles back from 10-6 down in the first. She cruises in the second. Withstood a big push from Navani in the third, but it was never in doubt for the Princeton Tiger after game number 1. What a moment, as she's congratulated by the Princeton coaching staff and her Tiger teammate Zaina Zain, the 2025 CSA individual national champion. We have a stellar men's final coming up in just a few minutes here. We will have Penn Quaker named as the 2025 CSA individual national champion on the men's side. The question being who? It's pen number 1, Salman Khalil, versus pen number 3, Omar Hafez, coming up in a few minutes here on Squash TV.
All right. The 2 men are ready to go. I'm going to get them onto the court. We are here for the men's finals of the 2025 individual championships put on by the College Squash Association. Our first player, he's from Egypt. He's a junior and Penn's number 3 player. He's our number 6 overall seed, and he's played unbelievably well this whole week. Could you please welcome Omar Hafez? His opponent, also from Egypt, he's Penn's number 1 player as a sophomore, and he's our number 1 overall seed. Could you please welcome Salman Khalil? Omar Hafez from Alexandria, Egypt. He placed number 3 for Penn. He was the 2023 Ivy League Rookie of the Year, a first-team All-Ivy and All-America last season, and of course was a member of Penn's Potter Cup National Championship team last season. He made it here by beating Inwoo Lee from Colby, Dennis Galevsky from Harvard, Lachlan Sutton from Yale, And yesterday in the semifinal, he took out our number 2 overall seed, Joachim Chua, in yesterday's semifinal. Please welcome Penn's number 3 player, our overall number 6 seed, Omar Hafez. Salman Khalil is from Cairo, Egypt. He's Penn's number 1 player as a sophomore last year. He was a CSA First Team All-America in All-Ivy. He was the 2024 Ivy League Rookie of the Year. And of course, he too was a member of last year's Penn's Potter Cup championship team. Now, all that might seem like a hard act to follow, but in dual team matches this season, he is already 11-0 at the number 1 ranking and has made it through the draw by beating Matteo Restrepo from Kennedy, Haris Kasim from Drexel, Neil Joshi from Harvard, and yesterday, Tad Carney from Yale in the semifinals. Please welcome Penn's number 1 player, our number 1 overall seed, Salman Khalil. As soon as the warm-up's over, I'm going to
halftime.
Welcome back to the men's final of the CSA Intercollegiate Individual Championships. It's the pool trophy, and we have 2 University of Pennsylvania Quakers taking on each other. We have the number 1 from the University of Pennsylvania, Salman Khalil, taking on their number 3, Omar Hafez. Well, I'm Chris Gordon, and joining me for this men's final, Denison University standout, Jackson Bragman. Good afternoon, Jackson.
Good afternoon, Chris. Congratulations to Zaina Zain, the number 1 for the Princeton Tigers in her sophomore year from Alexandria, Egypt. She is our 2025 CSA Individual National Champion. On the women's side, the individuals are coming home to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On the men's side, the question is, who will be named the CSA Individual National Champion? It'll come down to Salman Khalil, the number 1 for the Penn Quakers, and his teammate, the number 3 for the University of Pennsylvania, Omar Hafez. Incredible quality from both of these individuals all week long. As we heard from Will Carlin, both of these individuals having to survive 4 tests to find themselves playing in the finals on the glass court. This afternoon, there you see the University of Pennsylvania head coach, Gilly Lane. He has the day off today. No coaching duties for Gilly. His 2 boys going at it. You know, he's got to be proud of his guys. Khalil, in his sophomore year for the Penn Quakers, 11-0 in dual match play and 4-0 in this event. He is undefeated. Omar Hafez, no slouch.
Time.
At the number 3 spot, meanwhile. And we're in store for a cracking final between these 2 Egyptians this afternoon.
You would realize that this is Penn versus Penn in the finals. Believe it or not, this has happened before. And we have the 2 people who played in that final, 1979. Both here today, I'd like to welcome them onto the court. The runner-up back in 1979 from the University of Pennsylvania is John Foster. And the champion back in 1979, still one of the biggest names in squash in the United States, is Ned Edwards. And what we'd love to do is have a picture taken with the 2 finalists from 1979, flanked by the 2 finalists from today. Another hand for Ned Edwards and John Foster, please. Ned Edwards and John Foster. Do you guys need to leave the court, or you want to just look at it? The officials for this match will call out the video official is Mike Martin.
Hafez, the junior, forcing his younger teammate, the sophomore Salman Khalil, to exit court first. And both these players alone in their respective corners, no coaching. Gustav Detter, the former Trinity legend and current Penn assistant coach, back in Philadelphia, holding practice for the Penn men and women as they get set to take on Harvard and Dartmouth this upcoming weekend. But right now, all eyes on this individual final. Khalil, we mentioned, 11-0, 4-0 in this event. At the #1 spot for the Quakers this season, Hafez also boasting a record of 11-0 at the #3 spot. He's proven he's one of the top players in the country, finding himself in the individual finals. An incredible 4-game win over Trinity's Joachim Chua in yesterday's second semifinal. Khalil came through in a tight 3-gamer against Yale's Tag Carney, who had an incredible run in this event.
Time. 2025 CSA Individual Championships Pool Trophy Final Match. Omar Hafez of Penn to serve, Salman Khalil of Penn to receive. Best of 5 games, love all.
It's Khalil, it's Hafez, Paul Alexander's our central referee, and we are underway from Grand Central Station. Blistering pace right out of the gate here, Chris.
Yeah, I think we're in for a pretty competitive first game. We're going to see Khalil trying to really push the pace, try and push up the court.
One love.
Make things hard physically for Hafez.
Stroke to Hafez. 2 love.
Yeah, it's a smooth start from Omar Hafez. He's controlling the ball along the side walls. Accurate work from Hafez. There's Khalil on the back foot here.
So deceptive is Hafez. He's put the brakes on Khalil a couple times in this rally, but Solomon's movement just so explosive. Able to recover in a quick fashion. I mentioned it yesterday, but a lot of similarities I see in his game to that of our current world #2, Mustafa Assal. Such a physical player, such an explosive mover to the forecourt. Both these players, been a joy to watch all season.
Down.
Better rally there from Salman Khalil.
Hand out, 1-2.
Getting stuck into Hafez physically there, making the rally a little bit harder physically, asking some questions of the movement of Hafez.
A bit more patience there from Khalil to get on the board here in this men's final. teammates know each other so well, just feeling each other out in the early going here. They've played many a challenge matches over the last couple of seasons.
Down. Handouts 3-1. No let.
It's tight work from Hafez.
4-1.
Pulls 3 points. Clear of his Penn teammate in the early going of this first game.
Yeah, this is better from Khalil. Oh, he's gone through the legs there, Hafez.
Oh, he sent it the wrong way.
That is super dynamic from Salman Khalil, getting into that front corner very explosively. It's a massive lunge here.
Yeah, I mean,
Handouts
Khalil really
2-4.
working Hafez corner to corner here in that rally. And what a movement to play that ball from that position. There we see last year's individual national champion, Peer Chotrani, the Cornell Big Red, now doing big things on the PSA Squash Tour.
Stroke to Khalil. 3-4.
Well, he's just starting to chip away at Hafez's lead, Khalil. Yeah, it's powerful movement into that front corner from Khalil.
4-all.
Just gets on it so quickly.
You think you could get a point back for that, Chris, having hit the ball into the towel box?
Yeah, it's inch perfect there in the back corner from Khalil.
5-4.
Yeah, Hafez, he made the error on the last rally, but he found the ball, the ball found its way into the towel box there, Chris. Do you think he can maybe get some style points for that? I don't know if I could do that if I tried.
Yes, let's. 5-4, left box.
Just get the feeling that Salman Khalil is starting to really turn the screw here. Just starting to push up the court. Yeah, it's those movements across the middle where he's not letting the ball go into the back corners. Just creating more pressure on Omar Hafez.
Down. 6-4. Yes.
Hafez really dictating traffic here. He's completely controlling this rally.
Yeah, it's a great finish there from Khalil. It's that powerful movement you referenced before, Jackson. He just gets into that front corner
7-4.
so quickly.
Yeah, it allows him to really turn around these rallies when he can find himself in a really defensive position. But unless a drop shot hit into the forecourt is picture perfect, he pounces onto it like that one. So effective from the forecourt.
Trouble. Yeah, wasn't quite able to find the nick there, Khalil.
Down.
Oh, it's massive error there from Omar Hafez.
He's putting all the hard work there.
Right box,
He's just
8-4.
clipped the top of the 10. That's 7 straight points for the sophomore Khalil, who has now grabbed a hold of this first game. Hafez dictating a lot of these rallies, but just cannot put the ball away against the explosive Khalil.
Yeah, it's good.
9-4.
Good positioning there from Khalil. He got Hafez stuck behind him. Oceans of space in that front corner to hit into. Really starting to run away with this first game, Khalil. It's been an impressive performance. Very patient.
Out. 10-4, game ball.
Well, Salman Khalil now with 6 game balls to take this first game. Yeah, Hafez
11-4.
just
game
opening
to
the
Khalil.
court up far too
Khalil
early, and
leads
Salman
1 game to
Khalil
love.
with that very classy finish. So Salman Khalil draws first blood.
Yeah, he's throwing everything but the kitchen sink. That Salman Khalil has Omar Hafez, but to no avail. A dominant first game from the Penn sophomore, now 2 games away from the CSA individual national title. Salman Khalil leads our men final, 1 game to love.
Fifteen seconds. Time. Khalil leads 1 game to love. Love all.
Well, it was a great performance in the first game for University of Pennsylvania's Salman Khalil. He was very solid. He withstood the early barrage from Omar Hafez. But as the game progressed, he really, really started to come into his own.
Yeah, Hafez playing at an incredibly high level. He's hitting a very clean ball. He's playing at a blistering pace, but the physicality of Khalil proved a bit too much.
Stroke to Hafez. 2 love.
Junior from Alexandria, Egypt. It's had an incredible season for the Quakers. We mentioned 11-0. On the season is Hafez at the number 3 spot. Both these players, former Ivy League Rookies of the Year. Khalil last season, Hafez a couple of years ago. Following in the footsteps of Ali Boulainen, as talented Egyptian juniors joining the Penn squash ranks, playing for Gilly Lane, who led the Quakers to their first ever men's national championship last season.
Right box.
They're the heavy favorites to go back-to-back in 2025. Much better start here from Hafez. Gilly Lane talks all the time about making the court feel bigger. Feels like Hafez's length is being left shorter in the court, and his length is being
4 love.
Brought deeper. He's doing all he can to stretch his Penn teammate in the early going of the second game.
Better control from Hafez. Just getting the ball deeper into the back corners. It's forcing Salman Khalil off that central tee position. He's been a bit more patient as well, not leaving the ball short into the front corners. Where Salman Khalil's really able to open up that powerful movement.
Stroke to Khalil. Handout,
drop,
1-4.
The loose lift from Hafez, and Khalil on the board in this second game, down 4-1, but you can't count him out. Trailed 4-1 in the first, and rattle off 10 points in a row. Great width. Picture perfect from Hafez. Cuts deficit to 2.
Stroke to Khalil.
Yeah, there's a bit of a miscue there from Hafez.
3-4.
Just playing the ball back at himself. So Salman Khalil starting to dig in here.
Yeah, Hafez looking a bit frazzled, needs to reset here.
Down. Handouts, 5-3.
It's a great get from Hafez. Khalil rather. Oh, and he's poked that ball deep. Just the flick of the forearm, so much strength.
Handouts.
It's that Diego Elias shot from the front left corner.
Yeah, this is good pressure from Salman Khalil. Massive finish. Just flicking the ball into the front corner. This all comes from how high that tee
5-all.
position is. It just takes so much time
Left
away
box.
from Hafez.
Doesn't feel like Hafez is doing too much wrong here.
Down. 6-5.
Just a burst of frustration there from Hafez. He's going to look to reset. If I'm Omar here, Chris, I'm looking to punch out a long rally, just reset, find my rhythm again. He's up 4-love and worked really hard to win those rallies. Long stretched out points, and now in quick fashion, Salman Khalil is taking the lead here in the second game.
Well, a similar pattern to the first game, where Omar Hafez started very strong and Salman Khalil just slowly went about reeling him in. Really, the big differentiator here is just the power of the movement of Salman Khalil going forward, how stable he's in that lunge position.
Stroke to Hafez. Handout, 6-all.
It's an awkward angle for Khalil. Doesn't quite find the width he was looking for. It's a much needed break for Hafez, looking to hang in the second game.
Yeah, this is patient from Khalil. Just looking for something that he can accelerate onto, and that is inch perfect in the back corners from Salman Khalil.
Yeah, I don't know what you can even do about that if you're Omar
7-6.
Hafez. It's a relatively tight ball. It's come a ways back in the court, so Khalil hasn't had to make too labored of a movement to lunge onto that shot. But to poke that ball cross court with as much pace, as much accuracy as he did, with it being as tight as it was to the side wall, I mean, what a talented player we're paying witness to right now.
Stroke to Hafez. Player review, Khalil.
Well, Salman Khalil going for the review here. Be interesting to have a look at this one, Jackson.
Handout, 7-all.
No, I guess he's rejected the review there. Well,
Did
there
seem
you
like
go.
a stroke to me, Chris.
There you go, he's canceled the review, so we carry on.
Stroke to Khalil.
It's a wonderful jab.
Handout, 8-7.
Khalil has read him like a book there, and elicits another stroke. So tight. has gone up the middle there. It's one of his signature choices from the front left. Doesn't work out that time.
And 9-7. Down.
Well, it's good variety there from Omar
Handouts.
Hafez going up the middle.
8-9.
Yeah, once again, he's really thrown the kitchen sink at Salman Khalil. He's getting creative here. He's hanging around in the second game, only trailing a point as we're entering the business end. Game number 2 from Grand Central Station.
Massive error there from Omar
Handouts,
Hafez.
10-8.
It's a bit of a
game
tired
ball.
mental error, that one.
Yeah,
Salman
not
Khalil now with 2 game balls to take a very commanding 2-game-to-love lead.
Not an error you can afford to make if you're Hafez in this match. He's frustrated with himself. 2 game balls now for Khalil to take a commanding 2-love
Down.
lead. That's a pitch-perfect boast from Hafez, who has life here in the
Handouts,
second.
9-10 game ball.
Quick hands there from Hafez. Yeah, it's a massive response from Hafez. He took full advantage of the loose cross court from Khalil. Lovely finish, cutting it into the side wall.
10 all. A player must win by 2 points.
Picture perfect. This is huge. It does feel like
Thank you.
Hafez does need this game to stay in this match, and he's 1 point away.
11-10
He's rattled
game
off
ball.
3 straight here. Great get. Oh, wow. What a rally.
Yeah, he's battling here, Khalil. Yeah, it was massive there. It was down to the powerful movement.
Yeah, he was all over that counter drop, Chris.
There's
Look at
up to
that. Thanks for coming.
Handouts, 11 all. Yes, let's.
Ooh.
11 all.
Well, he's frustrated here, Hafez, but he's not reviewing it. He's not wanting to potentially lose the review.
What would you give there, Chris?
I think it's probably going to stay as a lot. Sort of. He had the left arm wrapped around Khalil.
Stroke to Khalil.
Stroke, and Hafez may have lost half a step. He looks a little
12-11
bit
game
fatigued
ball.
for the first time in this match.
Well, Salman Khalil now with another game ball.
It's a great width. It's tight.
Yeah, it's great Great squeeze there from Salman Khalil.
13-11, game to
And he
Khalil.
massively lunges out there
leads
very
2 games to
powerfully
love.
to take that second game. So now Salman Khalil very much in the driver's seat. 11-4, 13-11.
Yeah, once again, Omar Hafez giving everything to that game. 18 minutes. He's trying to get creative. He's thrown in a bunch of different boasts and crosses up the middle, but to no avail. After leading 4-love in the early stages of the second, he drops the second. 13-11. Salman Khalil leads this men's final 2 games to love.
Fifteen seconds. Time.
Well, Salman Khalil, the #1 from the University of Pennsylvania,
Khalil leads 2 games to love.
withstood that barrage from the University of Pennsylvania's #3,
Love
Omar
all.
Hafez. And he now very much in the driver's seat. Do you see any way back for Hafez, Jackson?
I'm not sure, Chris. I think that it comes down to what he's doing so well in the early stages
Down.
of that second game. We mentioned it briefly.
1
Stretching
love.
out the court. Excuse me, I found that early on he was really finding the back corners with his length, and he was really leaving his drops so short to the front wall. And as the game went on, a lot of his length was bouncing in the service box. His short game wasn't quite as sharp.
No, that's-
Obviously, he was under the gun a bit more and was doing a lot of
Player
the tough
review,
work in
Hafez
those
on the
later
no-let
rallies.
decision.
So it's understandable, but I think to grab a hold of this match, he's going to have to find his length a little bit more, maybe lift on the front wall a bit and punish Khalil in the forecourt with his short game. But we've seen Hafez hit really a lot of winners
No lets decision upheld.
against most
Hafez
other
has
players
1 review remaining.
over the course of this
2 love.
match, and Khalil picking those balls up with ease in the forecourt. So it will be a tall task, but I think it can be done, Chris.
Not up.
Yeah, it's very classy there from Khalil with
That
the
was gorgeous.
side spin volley drop there.
3 love.
It's a great start from Khalil. Really grabbing this third game by the horns.
4 love.
Needs to be a response very quickly from Omar Hafez.
Yeah, Hafez does look a little bit fatigued. Both these players so fit, but you did see starting around 10-all, 11-10 in that second game. Hafez starting to tire a bit. He's giving up the ghost there, and he's guessed correctly. It's great anticipation from Khalil.
5 love.
All over that ball, and he takes a 5-love lead, 6 points away from the individual title. Gilly Lane said earlier this morning that he loves both of his guys.
6 love.
Of course, he has no rooting interest in this matchup, but he said he wouldn't mind a 3-gamer as Penn is set to take on Harvard and Dartmouth this upcoming weekend. Would love for both of his guys to be fresh, so maybe for Coach Gilly, this is the best case scenario.
Out.
But Omar Hafez is going to
7
battle
love.
hard to the bitter end. It's not looking good for him at this juncture, though.
Down. Handouts 1-7.
Hafez taking a moment to towel off. He's going to give it one last push here.
That's great reaction. Sharp from Hafez. Pushed up the court there. Just trading the volleys
2-7.
with Khalil. Still has a bit of work to do on the scoreboard here, Hafez.
Down.
Yeah, it looks like the wheels are
Hand
starting
out.
to come off here for Omar Hafez.
8-2.
Just running out of ideas. Hitting Salman Khalil, and especially the movement, has been so dynamic here today. Very difficult to break down.
Khalil really looking fresh as a daisy. He hasn't had to make really any super difficult movements in this game. He's kind of just stepping
Yes, let's.
1 or 2 steps off the tee and
8-2.
getting right back. He's completely dominating the center of the court.
Yes, let's. Player review, Khalil on the yes-let decision.
Why?
Let's wait for the review.
Well, Salman Khalil going to the review here. It's a bit of a contact there when Omar Hafez was going through. Seemed like too much, but let's get another look at it.
Yeah, I think the line may have been behind Khalil there
I think it's just gotten
forward, and
it's gotten clipped with butt of Khalil's racket there.
it's accidental, of course. So, and he is
Yes, let's. Decision upheld.
Awarded yes,
Khalil
let
has
Hafez.
1 review remaining.
view unsuccessful, and
It was felt that there was sufficient obstruction with your follow through as he was going through.
He hit my follow through. He hit me on the way after I saw
8-2.
like this way, whatever it's called.
Down.
Yeah, massive error there from Hafez.
9-2.
Really going for it, just misjudging the angle. So Khalil inching closer to the finish line.
Salman Khalil, an incredible junior career. Incredible freshman season for the Penn Quakers, now in his sophomore year, 11-0 at the #1 spot.
10-2 championship ball.
He's had some major scalpings over the course of the year. He's yet to be pushed to 5 this season. He's been dominant over the course of these CSA
Down.
individuals, and
11-2
now
match
he
to
can call
Khalil.
himself
3
champion.
games to love.
Salman Khalil hugging things
11-4,
out with his brother,
13-11,
his teammate Omar Hafez, who had a great run through this draw. The #6 overall seed was Hafez. He's an incredibly talented player. He'll be back, surely making a deep run in this event next year. But for now, the CSA individual title belongs to the Egyptian sophomore. Salman Khalil is your 2025 CSA individual national champion.
I'd like to invite on the board the CSA board members, if you can please head down here quickly. Sarah Hartley. Thank you. Edgardo, I don't know where you are. Kevin.
Well, an absolutely fantastic performance by the University of Pennsylvania's Salman Khalil, overcoming teammate Omar Hafez in 3 very competitive games. So Salman Khalil is crowned the CSA Intercollegiate Champion. Well, that is all from us here at Grand Central. But please join us later on this evening at 5 p.m. for the quarterfinals of the Tournament of Champions.
Veer Chotrani, if you are here and you can hear me, please come onto the court. Veer. Harry Smith. All right, well, first what I'd like to do is introduce you all to the people who are on the court. So starting on your left is Harry Smith, who is the Commissioner of College Squash and has largely been the architect for putting on this whole tournament this week. He deserves a special round of applause. Next to him is Veer Chotrani, who is last year's intercollegiate champion, playing for Cornell last year. And then I'm going to introduce all four of these together, but it's Kevin Klipstein, who is the CEO of US Squash and a College Squash board member. John Nimick, who is a past chair of the College Squash Association and is still serving on the board. Sarah Hartley, who is on the board, and Edgardo Gonzalez. And I want to do one more thing, which is that everybody here played college squash. Harry played #1 for Colby, Veer #1 for Cornell, and Kevin also for Cornell, 2 Cornells, nice. John Nimick for Princeton, Sarah Hartley for Yale, and Edgardo Gonzalez for Hobart. So all of college squash represented here. I'd like to invite John, if you would like to say just a quick word or two.
This was one of the easiest decisions we all made collectively. It just made such sense to try to combine the Tournament of Champions and the ultimate individual championship from college squash. College squash and the world that we're in American squash is totally integrated, and we're just thrilled that you, on the court today, you may have seen 4 future Olympians.
Thank you, John. And I'd like to invite the Commissioner of College Squash to say a few words.
I want to first echo everything John just said there. I think that college squash is such an incredible product. The talent, the depth of the field, the diversity of all the players. For such a small league, we represent about 45 separate countries. About 45% of the league is international, and I thought this was such an incredible opportunity to showcase the incredible talent of the CSA. These matches today, matches yesterday, and then all the matches through the weekend at Open Squash were incredible. Change can be difficult, and moving this event into the middle of the season was definitely a change for many, but a huge, huge thank you to John Nimick and his TOC team. They've been incredibly accommodating and made this event just a spectacular success. And to the board of directors and the CSA coaches for supporting this decision. As I said, change can be a little bit tricky. There's always a bunch of unknowns, but this seems like it was such a great weekend. It meant a lot to the players and to be able to highlight their ability. So thank you, everyone, and on to the ceremony.
First, I'd like to introduce today's women's runner-up. She's only a freshman. She's a Stanford. Could I please welcome Ria Navani back to the court? Ria, I'd love to just give you a quick chance to say a few words here.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awesome venue to be at. I'm so grateful to be here in front of such an amazing crowd, and I just want to say congrats to Zaina. She played insane throughout this whole tournament and definitely deserved to be the winner today. So congrats to her, congrats to Princeton, and I'm excited to be back next year.
Well, we are definitely going to see you back. She's only a freshman, everybody. And now to the 2025 Intercollegiate Women's Champion. Could I please welcome back onto the court from Princeton, Zaina Zain. Zaina, I know we chatted a little bit, but you might have had a few minutes to think about anything else that you might want to say. I'd love to give you that moment now.
Of course, I'm thankful that they gave us the opportunity to play on that venue, such an amazing venue. So happy with my performance throughout this whole week. Happy to have my Princeton people came all the way from Princeton to here. Wouldn't have done that without them. And of course, thank you for Rhea for making this an awesome final. She's such a talented player. Had to have my A game with her. So yeah, I'm happy I was able to get the win today.
The Intercollegiate Champion, everybody. And on the men's side, I'd first like to introduce onto the court today's runner-up, Omar Hafez from the University of Pennsylvania. Omar, I'd love just to hear your thoughts. I know it didn't go quite the way you wanted, although you did say that you were rooting as much for Salman as you were for yourself. So tell me what you're feeling right now.
Of course, I'm proud of Salman, of course. Amazing tournament. He played so well. I know it wasn't the best final, but I tried my best.
No, it was a very good final, particularly that second game, please.
Yeah. Probably the mental side was tough for me today. I tried my best. I had a couple tough moments. I lost my dad 3 weeks ago, and it's so hard to step on court every time without him, without his support.
Omar went back home after his dad died, and his teammates all supported him staying over there, but he decided he wanted to come back and play here to represent the team. For him to make it to the finals is a very, very big deal. Okay. You want to try more? Yeah.
Just want to thank everyone, all the people that tried to come to let us play here on this venue. Amazing experience, and I hope it continues. And I want to also congrats Salman, congrats the women, they played great. An amazing tournament. Thank you for everyone that came to support. Thank you.
Omar Hafez, everybody. Omar Hafez. And now I'd like to introduce the 2025 Intercollegiate Men's Champion, again from the University of Pennsylvania, Salman Khalil. Intercollegiate Champion. How does that sound?
Before I come back to the question, I just want to say one thing. Believe me when I say, a big motive for me to win today is to give another speech, because yesterday's speech was horrendous. I could have not ended it on a low note, so no stuttering today, just pure wisdom. Back to your question, how do I feel? I don't, no one cares how I feel. I just want to say one thing. I feel proud. Not because I played well today, played well yesterday, played well the whole week. I just want to say I feel proud because throughout the last 10 months, all I had in mind was winning this and also winning a national champion with my team, national championship with my team. And I don't know, I'm very proud that I did the right thing. I made the right decisions, sacrificed what needed to be sacrificed, put in as much work as I need. Wow, I'm stuttering again, sorry. I'm just happy, thank you. And thank you for coming today. All the Penn alumni, Penn Athletics Department, my teammates coming up from Penn. Billy, thank you. He took care of us the past week. Rudy and Joe for taking, I don't know. It's my second language. I don't know. I stutter so much. Keeps getting worse. And of course, Gilly, where is he? Oh, right there. This guy is special. The only thing I can talk about without stuttering, Gilly, because he's just so special, can keep going forever. So thank you. And my parents watching from home, my family, my siblings, and everyone. And I'll see you again next year. Thank you.
Salman Khalil, everybody. I'd love to get Zaina and Salman to step forward. And these are our two 2025 College Squash Association Intercollegiate Champions from Penn, Salman Khalil, and from Princeton, Zaina Zain. Ladies and gentlemen, just before you go, I just want to say thank you so much for being here today.